Hello everyone, this is Alec. Come to you with another StarCraft 2 audio commentary. And today's we got something pretty special for you. I'm doing a duo cast with my good buddy Austin, Oz77. So yeah, I'll just let him introduce himself.
Yeah, as you guys know me on YouTube, that's Oz77SC. So we're just gonna bring you some EmpireKas versus mTwDIMAGA. This one is from the IEM Kiev. I believe this was the semi-final, so that's a global challenge. It was not the World Championship. But we do have Kas here spawning as the red Terran player at the bottom left of Tal'Darim Altar, up against DIMAGA at the bottom right. So Alec, I know you've casted one StarCraft 2 game on your channel, mostly Warcraft 3, but DIMAGA was in that game. Do you really remember anything he did, or nothing special?
Well, I know DIMAGA, he did go for sort of a late expansion. He did play against player No Me. I'm not sure if he has another account or he's known by something else normally. But anyways, No Me did sort of go for an all-in sort of very one base play. But DIMAGA responded. I believe he lost actually. I'm pretty sure he responded with sort of a later expansion and nothing really too special.
Alright, well, this is going to be a best-of-5 series, to my knowledge, and should promise to be exciting. I've not casted any Kas, but I've heard he has a pretty exciting playstyle. Never done a TV. This is actually just my second TVZ professional cast. I did one the other day. So, do you know this matchup personally? I know you play Zerg as a StarCraft 2
yeah,
player.
I like to say I play Zerg. Obviously, I'm not very good at all, not nearly compared to Warcraft 3 or any of that. I haven't had as much experience, but I don't know, Terran versus Zerg, there's a lot of debate on whether Zerg is OP, whether Terran's OP, whether Zerg is at a huge disadvantage. I know you can hear Idra sort of raging about that constantly, but
well, we do have something pretty interesting already in this game. There's the late hatchery, as you said, but more importantly, the command center at the wall for Kas. I don't know what kind of transitions will come out of this. I've never actually seen a command center at the wall. He's got a barracks, so maybe he's going to go for this fast expand and use the CC to hold off early, but I've never actually seen a command center at the wall. I've watched quite a few games. I haven't casted much, but wow, this is...
Yeah, I've seen actually a lot of Kas games, and I just love watching him just because he's always comes out with these weird strategies, and it's very, very interesting to see what he's going to pull out of this. It's almost like watching like a Lucifer of Warcraft 3 playing, just because you never really know what he's going to do, and he's always so good at playing just about any strategy he wants to.
Well, the drone scout is going to see this, so I'm sure DIMAGA is a little bit confused. He does have his pool finishing, so he got the hatch a little bit earlier, and now I don't know what he's going to try to transition with, but probably something odd of his own to try to counter this.
Right now, just because Kas is planning on going on 2 base, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to secure that third. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to secure that if he scouts out the DIMAGA goes for the third as well. But if he can pull this off, I would not be surprised if he went for a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders, probably mix in some siege tanks in there as well, and that could prove very, very useful. DIMAGA's already got the factory on the way, so I wouldn't be surprised if we also saw some 4 Hellions running straight into the base of DIMAGA just to get that early harassment done. Just obviously that's so effective in a TVZ.
Yeah, we do have the reactor on the barracks, so perhaps you could just lift off that factory and switch. I see that an awful lot nowadays. They just build the reactor on their racks, and then they have to just switch up their buildings, and they're good to go. So there's an orbital command here, an SCP kind of long-distance mining, still trying to kill DIMAGA's scout here. So he's going to see all of this. He's probably seen the reactor by now. Yeah, so he's seen everything. And like you said, I'm expecting third as well at this point. He does have 2 lings with speed on the way.
Yeah, I'm not right now. DIMAGA's gonna very nicely kill off that one SCV scout,
yeah.
So he won't be able to spot any of the pool or anything. But I don't think DIMAGA has any sort of really weird tech going on. He's just sort of going for standard, Zergling speed and things like that. We'll probably be seeing a Roach Warren. Anything and we actually if you look at this, if you look over at Kas, he does have a starport on the way, and so it's quite an early starport actually.
He also, as you predicted, quite right, he has the reactor over on the factory with 2 Hellions out. I don't know if he's going to build 2 more. Sometimes Terran players carry it a little bit into the later game. They get see, he does have 2 more on the way now. So I actually saw the other day, I believe it was MVP got 6 Hellions. That was in a game I just casted. And he got 6 Hellions and went into the late game. That game didn't make it to my channel, if you guys are wondering, but it was pretty interesting. He used these Hellions into the late game.
We do have a lot of Zerglings actually being queued up right now from Dimaga, so maybe he's going to go for some sort of a Zergling speed timing here, but that could actually prove very, very useful if Kaz doesn't turtle in time. Actually, he does have Cloak being researched though on the starport, so maybe we'll be seeing a Banshee come out. I'm sure that'd be very, very useful. If trying to do some good harassment on Dimaga, but really of late, I saw some posts from Moon Store Zane and things. It's very, very hard to make that Cloak Banshee really pay for itself, just because even if you get off like a very, very good like 10 worker kills or so, it's really, even then, it's really hard to sort of make it useful. Really, it's not the greatest strategy of late. You see the Terran players doing that less and less.
Yeah, my favorite cheeser personally, his name is Namshir, and he's used Cloak Banshees before. I saw him do that against Idra actually at one point, but I have not seen any Cloak Banshees recently. As you said, it's an investment to get Cloaking Field. It takes a while. You have to get the Tech Lab on your starport, which sacrifices that potential medevac support, so it is an investment, and we have 2 more Hellions. That's going to be 6 total. No Blue Flame in sight, though. A 3rd command center built in here, and we did not notice this before, but there is the macro hatchery in the main, so that's going to just help build so very many Lings. He actually has 36 total on the field right now. They just finished destroying that.
That's a lot of Lings.
Yeah, especially if you look at the units tab for our Terran player, only 1 Marine, 1 Banshee, and 8 Hellions. I just don't know if that's going to be enough.
If Terran players, you can see sometimes they just have incredible Hellion micro, and if you have good Hellion micro, that can be enough to take out a full army of Zerglings. It's just so good Hellions against Zerglings if you have the proper micro skills.
Now, looking back at our production tab, we have 2 Evo Chambers and a Baneling Nest in addition to a Spire, so an awful lot of just neat transitions here from our Zerg player. I don't know where he's going to take this. Maybe has he possibly seen the starport? No, so he's not going to really have any Corruptors, probably just some Muta play with Banelings as well. So Muta Baneling, that is pretty popular, and he has those 35 Lings on the field, so that could come into play. A nice little bust at the natural could do him some good.
And do we have the 3rd base of Kaz being secured? Is he transferring that orbital command? No, not quite yet. Kind of surprised that he hasn't lifted that off yet, but even so, just having that 3rd base with that, getting those extra mules and things like that can actually be very, very effective.
Yeah, we do have 4 racks total, and now this starport has been... What happened to the Tech Lab on the starport? I don't know if that maybe have been destroyed or switched.
I think it's lifted off onto one of the racks.
Yeah, I think that rack's there. So he's now transitioning into the more biological play, because he has the 2 reactor racks and now 2 Tech Lab racks, but I don't actually see any Marauders on the field.
Marauders, yeah. Kind of surprised to see that. Do we have any upgrades coming from Kaz? Yeah, we do have Stim Pack on the way finally. A little bit of a late Stim Pack there. We do have the Banshee also doing some nice harassment, as you can see.
It's actually gotten 12 kills, as you mentioned.
Wow, 12 kills. That really sort of makes it very, so that's 12 worker kills. It's sort of paid for itself, and if you think of it in that sense, but if you can get off another nice Cloak, and get off some more worker kills, that'll really start to pay for itself very nicely. Yeah,
we do have the ground upgrades and 4 mutas on the way, so they'll be able to take out the Banshee, but as you said, it has paid for itself at this point. Now more of a tech transition from our Terran player, 2 more racks. He has a siege tank on the way with his ground armor, ground weapons, combat shields, and Stimpaks. That's why Terran can sometimes have that advantage. They've got, with Zerglings, all you have is the metabolic boost. With Banelings, you have your centrifugal hooks, but then that's about it. When it comes to Terran, there's so many just little small bonus upgrades. But Dimaga has taken considerable damage to the natural. Looking at our units tab, though, I don't know what happened to those Hellions. We might have been a little bit too caught up on the tech and missed their demise. Possibly, I would imagine it would be to the Lings at one point. There's probably just some small engage, and he was able to pick off the Hellions.
And it looks like Kaz might start to secure that 3rd base, because right now, if he doesn't do that now, and if Dimaga sort of starts to move into a 4th base somewhere, and it looks like his Mutalists have figured out where the Banshee is, but it will be able to cloak himself and run away very, very easily. Now just going to sort of scout out for that 4th base. Obviously not feeling too pressured to get that 3rd base right away, because it's not a huge loss if you're 2 bases Terran against a 3 base Zerg, but if you can secure that nicely, then Dimaga will be at a little bit of a disadvantage, because on Zerg you do want to have that extra base. It makes it that much easier.
Yeah, and we have a pretty nice creep spread, I would say, from Dimaga. He could probably extend himself a little bit more. There's no Hellions on the field to deny him any of that creep, so maybe he's just hunkering down, ready to hit with some banelings.
Yeah, there's a lot of Marines actually, and a lot of banelings as well. A few banelings actually, not a lot, but we do have a lot of Marines on the way. Siege tanks mixed in there along with medevacs. This could be a very successful timing push here, right around the mid game for a Terran player. If Kaz can pull this off, that'll be very good for him. He is using scans to take out kill off that creep spread, and so far he's been pretty successful with his attack so far. He's used a few skims, but now it looks like he may go for a drop, going right in there. The Overseer is seeing everything, and now the Lings are going to come in, and we probably will see those Marines all get taken away, but no, maybe it's going to be a little bit late, and there's the doorbell to make it all that much more exciting, and there we go. I don't know how many Marines were lost there, and now we're going to see the Banelings come in, and quite a big losses there, Marine losses.
Yes. Oh, I don't know if Kos is going to be able to hold this one off. He just has the siege tanks doing some damage, but he's going to have his position overrun
as well.
And I just think this might be game here for Dimaga because he's pushing in. He's got his Baneling speed on the way. He has his SCVs with the orbital command, and I just think this might be it. He had the timing push, like you said, but was just unable to pull it off. So.
Hopefully that isn't too distracting noise in the background, but yeah. Anyways, let's check the food tank count. 138 to 136, so obviously Kaz isn't
That's the supply count, by the way. He's a Warcraft 3 player, of course, but we have 49 Banelings. Speed just about to finish. So
if Dimaga can pull this off, that'll be insane. Look at all these Banelings that are about to finish.
So they've got their speed. He has a couple mutas mixed in there.
This will be epic. Oh jeez, this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
And this
can he get on some nice Baneling hits? And look at this, Kaz. He's gonna retreat now. Baneling explosions there. Can he get off those whooping kills that he needs? He's take out the refineries. Look at all those units that are getting killed.
Oh, that's 32 total for Dimaga, and he's not just running to the opposing base. He's got just some reinforcement wings on the way.
Look at all those, and there's not too much more than Kaz can do right now. 55 supply for Kaz, and I think this will be game for him. The Zerglings are just going to come off and finish this off, it looks like. And yeah, there we go. Kaz just sort of running around, and there's not too much you can do. And there's the GG. Wow, very first game, very exciting game one.
I thought that was going to go Kaz's route personally. He had a really nice tech. He had the third finished and up and coming, and then he had the timing push. He went for the drop, but before we knew it, the Banelings hit hard. The siege tank line was down, and that was game.
Wow, that was an incredible game. So game 2 will be coming in the hopefully near future. I'll try and get together again.
Anyway, it was a pleasure to bring this to you guys alongside MrQuirlwc3. See you next time. Goodbye.